understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
What do you desire that you can't have?
When I eat a brain, I get visions.
Don't ever come back to Gotham.
You have failed this city.
Jesus, what kind of a preacher are you?
There's about a dozen ways that I could stop you right now. But I don't think I have to.
Because where I'm from, your grandson becomes the greatest hero in the universe.
Now you should at least give a brother a moment to say something heroically clever.
In the future, my friends may not be heroes, but if we succeed, they will be remembered as legends.
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending Saturday, November 10th, 2018. I'm Edward O'Hare, nickname to be determined.
And I'm Sarah Netzley, academic by day, freelance writer by night.
We're here to bring you recaps, news, and commentary for all live-action television shows based on DC Comics.
And this week we had 4 new episodes. We had a little bit of a break from our usual lineup of 6, so 4.
4. Hey, hello everybody. And I'm recording in New Digs this week. I'm on vacation visiting my sister and her husband in lovely Beverly, Massachusetts. And I'm recording from their home office right now. So if some of the background noise seems a little weird, there are cars driving outside, I apologize. But we'll do the best we can.
I just thought and then rejected yelling, I don't know, Boston stereotypes in the background. Like, I don't even know what that would sound like. I'm not really, I don't know. We're Boston stereotypes. Red Sox!
You want to go get some chowder? Yeah, I gotta go park my keys and my car keys in Harvard Yard. Yeah, no, we're not gonna be mean. We're not gonna be mean.
Left my car in the car park.
Yeah. I mean, they just won the World Series, so they shut all of us up. Talking about sports. This is where Sarah gets nervous because Ed talks about sports.
We're under 2 minutes. How dare you, sir? Like this is not a great start. How about them apples? I don't know. I'm just gonna go Goodwill Hunting at this point.
So,
meanwhile, I am still at my home. And while I'm enjoying the new background behind your head when we chatted, I have snow behind my head. So,
oh wow,
the hell with all of this. It's too early for that.
Okay, and the cats are safe because we got some cat purring on last week's episode that I tried to do the best I could with, but
I've ejected all the happy cats from the room. I hope you're a monster, Ed. I made you made me kick out all the happy cats. No purring in here. Get out, you little furry bastards.
It was just that one cat. It was just this like that was coming up every. I'm like, what? I thought we fixed all Sarah's mic issues. I don't know. And like, and it was when the cat kicked out your microphone cord and realized that we had to edit it. Yeah, but we're all good.
That's the cat who you put out a laptop and he's like, "Oh, hello, lover," and he just wants to be near the laptop. So anyway, so that's cat's weather in Boston.
So yeah,
how are you, listeners?
We have an email that I want to talk about because it's a show that we don't have anything else to talk about with right now because there was no news on it this week. But if you guys want to email us, it's dctv@wickedtheory.com. We do appreciate it. And remember way back when we got a bunch of stuff from Lucifer fans?
Oh, I do.
Well, one of them decided to just pile on and reiterate. And this is someone named Raven Wolf Spirit. I don't know if that's their real name, but if it is, it's really cool. And they just wanted to reiterate, I think the story is a great one. Keep on it. Don't let the haters get you down. So yeah.
I feel like that's just good life advice, just in general, about every topic.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, definitely good words to follow. But yeah. So you want to just jump right in? I mean, we're like 4 minutes in.
You've already brought up sports.
yeah. We haven't talked food yet, but I feel like it's gonna.
We'll get there. Okay. It's inevitable.
Yeah. And and I want to hang and do stuff. So we'll see. We're gonna try to get this a little quick, but still get you all that fun DC TV report stuff that you come to us for every week. Yeah. So you ready, Sarah? You ready? You ready?
Let's do it.
And I keep asking if you're ready, but maybe it's because I'm not ready, but I'm ready now. So we're going to start. We're going to kick off the recaps with Supergirl, Season 4, Episode 4, Ahimsa. Alex tried to keep Kara on the sidelines in her new containment suit while Lena and Brainy raced to remove all of the kryptonite traces from the atmosphere. John met Fiona's fiancé, Manchester Black, and worked to reach out to Fiona telepathically. Mercy and Otis broke Copy and Helgramite out of a DEO desert facility and used Fiona and a parasite to mind control them into staging public attacks on National City. Despite warnings from Lena and Nia, James contemplated suiting up as Guardian again. Last minute reveal, Agent Liberty told Jansen to stop freaking out right before letting a purple parasite crawl into Jansen's ear.
Yeah, listen, friends don't let friends get things in their ears like that. That's not... Agent Liberty is not your friend, Jensen. No.
I think he's had to learn that the hard way. Poor Jansen. But yeah, this very busy episode. A lot going on here.
And yet...
Yes.
This is the first episode of the new season that really didn't have me all the way on board. And I think it's because it was shot out of order. This was shot very early on while Melissa Benoist was on Broadway. That's why they had to have the super suit with the visor that was completely occluded, which made it look so much more menacing than it needed to be. Yeah, she's very like evil Daft Punk. This felt like the first episode back. It felt like, Alex and John are still trying to get used to their new roles and struggling with that. And it was just weird placement this far into the season. It felt like back to school fidgets that needed to get out. I don't know. It didn't work for me tonally. I felt like the characters aren't where they were at this point in the season in this episode. Did that make sense?
Yeah. I think it does kind of make sense. It felt like Alex was juggling a lot. And I feel like I really felt for Alex in this episode because I feel like she was struggling to balance a bunch of different things and like she really needed an assistant.
Yes.
And like I feel like at the end when she ended up on the couch with Kara, she really needed that. She just needed someone to relax with and say, "Hey, I had a really rough week." She just needed some alone time. But yeah, and there's so much. We got to meet Manchester Black.
I liked B-level Idris Elba very much. That joke courtesy of Tanya Melendez. But yeah,
okay.
I liked him. I kind of wish we'd had a little more time with him. He just immediately went to the evil. Right? That didn't. Here he is. Oh, she's dead. Well, I'm buying all the guns. Like, oh, okay. Little more development over a couple more episodes would have been good there, but that's okay. We got to get things done. Got to get things moving.
It's kind of similar to the character. He's an angry British guy who has superpowers, and there's an animated movie called Superman versus the Elite that he plays a big part in. And the character looks very different, but the personality seems to fit. And poor Fiona. Yeah, and I thought it was interesting the way that he was working with John to find her, and and things kind of went sour, and he's taking those extreme measures, which seems to be a theme going on this season.
Yeah, this season is extreme, but no, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of, shouldn't Ben be sweatier when he takes that mask off? Shouldn't he have like a rash where it's rubbing against his skin? Like, he shouldn't look like a supermodel when he removes that metal mask. There's no way. He shouldn't look that good. That's all.
Well, you don't know if it's metal on the inside. He might have some kind of like foam liner in there.
Oh, I was picturing velvet, like velvet to caress his cheek. He deserves velvet. Just the face, the jawline.
Hey,
like
he doesn't deserve anything, all right? After what he's pulled.
This is his jawline does. His actions do not. You're right. But this was a Agent Liberty light episode, which was fine. I super enjoyed Brainy. Feeling feelings. I'm techno-organic. I'm not a robot. These are tears of logic. I enjoyed that. I hope they give us more and more and more of him. He is a character I am finding great delight in this season.
Yeah, and he's met the second person in Lena, the second person who can match wits with him when it comes to technology. I thought that was interesting. I also find it interesting that Lena is just immediately helping out the DEO. I feel like she, based on everything that went on last season, that she should be a little bit more cautious, even if she's working with them.
And there's a couple levels for that. There's the Supergirl concerns, but also, she's got a private company that does science for money. So I don't know. Do you do that for free? Like, I don't mean to sound mercenary, but I feel like if you're Lena and you're the head, wouldn't your shareholders, if she is publicly traded, say, hey, maybe stop giving away your inventions?
Yeah.
To the government.
And also, me giving away my inventions is what got kryptonite laced through this atmosphere. Because how the hell did those guys get it? Oh, yeah, it's one of your agents went rogue.
And stole it from your, I guess, comically insecure facility. So yeah. What else? Oh, so are the Graveses really dead? Speaking of people who stole things.
Ooh.
Because that was underwhelming, if they are.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of does make sense. I mean, because it seems like what they're trying to do is create martyrs. And they're trying to create all of this anti-alien sentiment. So I guess they kind of did their jobs, but I don't know. I wish we had more from them. I think they're both great characters. So
agreed. I was surprised if that is it, because they are, especially Rona Mitra is a bigger name actress. So it just, if that was the length of her time on the show and the sudden and rather smallness of the deaths, it's just a little surprising. But you know what? It's not a bad thing. If a show surprises you by ending a character run like that, great. It doesn't have to be the cliche over the top, like, avenge me death.
Yeah, and I think it puts Agent Liberty more in the driver's seat, and I think we can really up that that this guy's crazy, and and he's not going to be as focused as they were, because he doesn't really know this. He doesn't really know the insides of this world better as much as they do. So he's just going to cause up all this sentiment and really go nuts with the stuff that he does now, because he doesn't have any kind of control or guide. He's calling it as he sees them now. So I think that's better for his character if they're not around.
I would love it if he eventually loses control of his own rhetoric and sees what he's done or what he's become. That would be really interesting to me. I don't know. He's pretty far gone. That might not be possible, but there would be, when Kara and John realize this is not something we can punch into submission, this is going to be a problem. I think it'd be kind of interesting if Agent Liberty himself realizes, oh yeah, this has gone too far and I can't stop it now. I don't know. That just would be an interesting note.
Yeah. Oh, and James, how things turn sour for him.
James. Oh my God, James, dude, you narrowly avoided prosecution. Mm-hmm. What are you doing, baby?
Well, now he's become an anti-alien icon. Yeah.
He had that episode or two last season where I was like, yeah, James, and now, no, come on, man, I don't know. If I narrowly avoided prison sentence, I don't think I'd do the same thing. Like, I'd not do that thing. But James did that thing, and now he's the guardian of humanity.
Yeah. Oh,
Enjoy that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Loving that. All right. Any new?
Okay. In conclusion, if they wanted to give us a full episode of just Kara, Iron Man helmet cam, and hardcore Henry POV cam, just a whole episode of that, I would have really enjoyed that. But apparently, we don't need to do that. But
No. All right. Any news for Supergirl?
Just really quickly, crossover Supergirl type news. We have our first look at Superman and Lois Lane.
Ooh.
So we get Tyler Hoechlin smiling in the suit, always a good time. And we get Bitsy Tulloch as Lois Lane. She looks like that actress that I have seen in other things. So
okay. All right. And that's the news, and that's Supergirl for this week. So next up, moving on to Arrow, Season 7, Episode 4, Level 2. In the future, William and Roy went back to Star City and snuck into the now abandoned Smoke Tech building for clues. In the present, Dr. Jared Parker used some extreme therapy methods on Oliver. Felicity went to Laurel for help getting information out of the captured silencer. Dinah and Renee raced with the Mystery Hood to stop mercenaries from bombing old landmarks around the Glades. Last minute reveal, in the future, Dinah had to give William the bad news that Felicity Smoke is dead.
Oh,
and the cries went out across the Twiniverse.
And those cries were mostly, yeah, we don't buy that. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yes. Yes. One of them was our friend at Aunt Betty Taylor, who tweeted out, "I don't believe that Felicity is dead, but the announcement will have the Felicity fans and the non-Felicity fans having a Twitter war all season. Well played, Arrow writers."
That's not wrong.
Now, yeah. This is really intense. This is getting really intense.
I am not super enjoying Oliver's time in prison. I know we're not supposed to. This is not the Flash's prison, like where they look like they're about to burst into 4-part harmony at any point.
No.
But I don't know. There's something about the grimdark of what's happening with the prison, and then the grimdark of the flash forwards. And it's just like, if things are terrible now and they're going to be terrible in the future, what are we here for? I mean, everything is terrible.
Well,
it's very dark.
I think there was another tweet that I think summed up what you're feeling best. This is from @SmokinThief. "Remember when Arrow was 3 friends in a basement, cracking jokes, and 2 of them flirting with each other and taking down a bad guy of the week, and it always came to a resolution at the end of the episode, and there's a gif of baby Stewie all laid out, disheveled, just curling back and forth in the fetal position. This show has gotten very complicated, very, very intense, very fast. And we had a lot to go down. Those torture scenes with Oliver, that's pretty much what Dr. Parker was doing. He was just torturing him into trying to say that he didn't want his son to be like him, using very, very fancy tech. That was hard to watch.
Yes. Agreed. The bright spot was, of course, Felicity speaking for all of us. "You're not Laurel and you're not a lawyer. What are you doing?" I enjoyed that.
Yes.
And actually, I kind of liked their scenes together. I liked Siren telling Felicity, "On my world, you're not you on my world. You're like, you remind me of you on my world doing this." So I kind of like that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the flash forward with Zoe as the grown up vigilante was kind of cool, I guess. Dinah's Gloria Steinem gray streak in the future, very distinguished. Old age makeup in this is okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not too much. I think that's the.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a lot.
Yeah. We're not talking like the Deadly Years episode of Star Trek. It's like just enough. It's like, all right, there's some gray, maybe a little bit of you can't say wrinkles because they're too pretty for that, but just a little bit of wear and tear on there. But not enough that they're not good looking. Because it's the CW. but yeah, and yeah, I mean that might explain why William hasn't seen Felicity in a while.
True.
As to Oliver's whereabouts, I think that's the real question here. And you know, and what's going on, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we're just gonna jump forward at the end of the season. But
well, I'd feel a little better if the showrunners hadn't said this is a set future and there's nothing that's going to change it. If the actions were, well, and I guess it's not a time travel show, so it's not like you really can per se, but I don't know. It's when we saw the little glimpse of Star City in the future in, oh, help me out, what season was that?
It was like season 3 or 4.
That was interesting, but I guess wasn't that in relation to the Legends where you do have time travel and we can fix things? I don't know. A glimpse of oh God, this is where we could end up is one thing, and this is where they end up. Period. Full stop. Oh God, this is not a fun journey to take with these characters if this is inevitably what they're headed for. I don't know. I hate to. Arrow's always been a little darker, and I get that, and I'm not objecting to that. And I like plenty of dark shows, but there's some element of joy or warmth, I think, that's missing that the show usually had, and maybe it's because John Diggle's like been replaced by an automaton. I don't know.
Well, also like
I don't know, Arrow.
Felicity is going dark now. Like even she's resorting.
Yes.
You know, like she's the one who would always like to cry out when Oliver had to resort to torture, and now she feels like it's necessary, and she's frustrated that it's not working. You know,
well, and as she tells us every single week, you took my family, you took everything. Yeah, no, we know it's terrible, but it is. I feel like she's kind of hitting the same
beat. Yeah.
No, yeah. We've and nothing has changed. So of course, last week that was the same as this week, and the next week is going to be the same. They've still taken everything from her, and she's still on her mission. But maybe it just feels like there's not been a lot of forward motion with things.
Yeah,
and yeah, I don't know. I cannot pinpoint my discontent, but I am discontent.
Yeah, I kind of thought Oliver would have been out of prison by now. But yeah, we should get working on that. Like this is enough. We're good. We got the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dinah and Renee can't carry the main storyline for much longer.
Oh God, no.
but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I still think the action that we got here was good.
Oh yeah, I should say the fights are still good, and I enjoyed some of the action of the new Green Arrow. You know, actually like belly flopping off a wall or whatever that was into the scaffolding. There was some good stuff this week too. But
yeah, and what's funny is I think it's nondescript enough that like that might be a woman. I can't really tell.
I go back and forth on it. If the show was smart, they'd be putting different people in the suit just to throw us off.
Yeah,
like have a different stunt person in the suit every week, so we just can't quite get a beat on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I'm surprised that we didn't get an unmasking this week. It could definitely have happened while Renee was helping him or her.
I'm sorry, did you say could or should have happened?
It should have happened, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. You know, it's not bad. It wasn't a bad episode. It's just like, you know, I guess, you know, they've got to do 23 of these things. So they can't do everything all at once if they want to spread it out over the season. But I think we're getting
and that's why we need more 12 to 15 episode seasons, the end.
Yeah. Or just, you know, do a 6-episode arc, you know? You know, do stuff in arcs. You don't need one big bad for the whole season. Give me like 3 or 4 big bads spread out over the course of the season. But yeah. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what's going on in Arrow. And one quick thing, I think Sarah, you can read this tweet because it's news related. But you pointed out to us from Devin from @DMichelleWrites.
Yeah, my friend Devin on Twitter says she just listened to DCTV Report. Colin Donnell was simply visiting Stephen Amell when they were filming the Gotham Arrow scenes in Chicago for 2 days. Dr. Tommy Merlin is back on his rounds. So I think she was looking at an Insta story from one of the stunt crew doubles. So she fact checked me on that, which I'm glad she gave us the actual information, but I'm also sad that means no Tommy Merlin. But thank you, Devin, for letting us know.
Thank you.
She also sent me a picture of the Wayne Enterprises building, so it's. I'm so ready for this crossover. It looks like it's going to be fun. Speaking of, transitioning into more news.
Yes.
Speaking of the crossover, Stephen Amell was given a gift from the costume department. It's a t-shirt that says, Stephen Amell survived the tightest suit alive. So apparently the Flash suit is snug.
Okay.
Snug. Let's see what else. This week, Arrow is going to send Curtis undercover as a biochemist. Echo Kellum, who plays Curtis, says that Curtis is still traumatized from last season, so he's been cool just being a scientist in a lab. But he is going undercover, and his character speaks several languages, and so the actor said the hardest part was learning the languages to use them in the episode. So that's something to look forward to this week. And biggest Arrow news of the week, drumroll, John Barrowman's coming back.
Yay!
Sometime later this season. So that's something to look forward to. He makes everything better, weirder, and more fun.
Yes. You can catch him on DC Daily. He's usually on there at least once a week. And yeah, I knew something was up when he dyed his silver hair brown again. And I figured, something's going on.
I just figured that was part of his. I mean, he clearly made a deal with the devil to never age and to be effortlessly charming. So
yes. Have you been watching DC Daily?
No, you asked me this, and every time I have to be like,
sorry.
Nope. No, I'm sorry that I don't. No, how is it evolving? Are you pleased with how its evolution has been?
Yeah. I mean, it's a simple. It's usually like 20 minutes to a half an hour, but Tiffany Smith will do some news headlines. They'll usually have like a report. Like a little bit of an in-depth interview with someone, and then they'll end it off with, a handful of people on a couch chatting about something you can see on the app, whether it's like an episode of a TV show or an animated movie or a comic book storyline. And yeah, I just love that vibe. Like, I just wish we could have that everywhere. That like I could just go to work, and while I'm doing my work, just hang out and talk about the Longbow Hunters, or the new Teen Titans, or the Death of Superman movie that just dropped. Yeah. So yeah.
Wait, do you have no simpatico coworkers with whom you can do this over the proverbial water cooler?
Well, I do, but like, yes and no. There's some stuff. Usually I end up talking about sports. Yeah, I'm not talking that much about my job. Sorry, I just cut myself. but yeah, I just wish I could do it more. That's all.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
And yeah. Was there any more news for Arrow?
That was it for Arrow.
Okay. Oh, that was what I wanted to say. John Barrowman, the thing I like about him on the show is that he doesn't like everything. And you could tell he kind of has standards, and he won't just, and that's the thing that's interesting is they do have a conversation, and it doesn't get heated, or, it doesn't get into fisticuffs or anything, but, they allow everyone to express their actual opinion. And sometimes if they're doing something that looks really cheesy or is a little bit out of continuity, it's nice that they'll mention that and talk about that. And, you could still enjoy stuff that way.
Well, and that's nice because I think that makes it more authentic if it's nothing but people. If it's Chris Hardwick on The Talking Dead being relentlessly, it's so great, you guys. Welcome to the show. It's so great. Everything is so great. I'm Chris Hardwick. It's great. That to me, I'm sorry, I don't know, I feel that Chris Hardwick, but that rings really inauthentic to me. And I feel like allowing people to say, it could have been better. I still love it, but that could have been better.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's more interesting. And I'm going to gravitate more toward that kind of content. Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So that's DC Daily, and that's Arrow, and now we're moving on to DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 3, Dancing Queen. Ray ended up falling in with a punk band in 1977 London, bent on making Queen Elizabeth II look mentally ill. Constantine took a side trip to visit his mother, who died giving birth to him. Nate took time adjusting to office life at the Time Bureau with Gary. Last minute reveal, Mick and Ray contemplated what to do with their new passenger, who was trapped in a force field, angry and thirsty.
Oh, so as if I could not love this show enough. It gave me not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 corgis.
Of course.
God, this show is so good.
Of course it's going to be corgis. Yes.
It had to be corgis.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this episode. I was right there with Ray. I think I would have done everything exactly as he ended up doing it. I thought...
Yeah, you and Ray are the same dude.
I thought that was really fun and awkward. Him and ending up, driving the van, and then the punk band falls in with them, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm undercover now.
And I liked he did good hair acting this week. Hair acting where it gets spikier and spikier as he falls more into the punk group.
Yes.
My feelings on Brandon Routh and Ray are well documented, so I, of course, enjoyed this episode. That was quality Ray content.
Yes. All right, and we got what is the actress's name? I'm sorry. Who played Amaya?
Maisie Sellers-Richardson.
Yes.
I slurred that name together. Sorry, I swear it's morning and I'm only drinking coffee. But yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got her back, and I thought that that was a very clever way to bring her back without dragging Amaya away from Africa again.
Yeah, so here's the only thing I'm going to knock this episode for. It's that they brought up Amaya about 16 times. And if we didn't know what was going to happen, it would have been really easy to guess, I think. Like, if you know that actress is coming back, and then they mention, oh, Amaya, remember Amaya? Hey, remember that lady Amaya? Oh, yeah, Amaya, I remember her. Yeah, no, we get it, show. We're going to see Amaya again. We get it. So that was a little heavy-handed, I thought. But I hate to complain because this was so dang fun.
Yeah, and I don't, and I think that's kind of necessary. You have to mention her a little bit. They might have overdone it a little, but that's okay.
I think one would have been okay. But I mean, I thought it was like 4 times, 5 times that she came up in a way that, okay, great. But okay, wait, I'm not done talking about Brandon Routh. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
At one point, who are you? I'm Ray, he says, and his voice changes when he drops out of his character undercover and he's Ray himself again, and then he puts on his suit and he charges and he's all intense and hot. And I just like it was a good Brandon Routh episode. That's all. Okay, shall we talk about Constantine?
Sure.
That was so good too.
Well, that scene, I think, is a perfect illustration of Constantine's character. And that's the one thing that, unfortunately, we haven't gotten as much of in this show, which is that John Constantine is a bastard. He's he means well, and he will do the right thing, but somehow it will cost him or it will cost the people around him. And it's the kind of thing where, like, he doesn't care that he's not going to exist anymore. He has to do something to punish that asshole who knocked up his mom.
And it doesn't work. It just makes him look like a dummy.
Yes, it backfires on him. But that's exactly the kind of thing Constantine would do. He would sacrifice his entire life if it meant screwing over someone who did something wrong. That, and obviously he had a bad childhood. I think it was really sweet that he got to meet his mom, and that they got along.
Yes.
At least until, he tried to kick her boyfriend in the balls. And yeah. And what's up? Is there anything going on with him and Zari, or is Zari just kind of knows to keep away from that? And
you know what's funny is last season Zari was paired with Ray quite a bit, and I was like, is there something going on with Zari and Ray? I think that actress must just have chemistry with everybody. I think because she this was another one of those odd couple pairings that really worked for me. I think she bounces really well off of pretty much everybody in the show, but they all kind of do. So
yeah,
I don't think so. I think she just seems to be a good voice of reason, not 100% drunk the Kool-Aid, but you know, she's with the program and she understands what needs to happen. And that was yet another pairing that we hadn't seen before that totally worked for me.
Cool. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Now let's get to the real fun here.
Yes.
Which is Nate and Gary.
Oh, see, I thought Nate and Gary were just fine this week. I really enjoyed the other stuff more, but yeah, you tell me about Nate and Gary.
Yeah. First off, Taco Monday.
It's not Tuesday.
It's not Tuesday. And that's how Gary lives it up. I think, wow. I thought I didn't have friends at work. But yeah. I thought they were fine. I thought it was a fun episode. You know, Nate kind of adjusting to office life and cubicle life. Yet still, you know, they get to go back to the Pleistocene period.
I mean, it's still the Time Bureau. So.
Yeah, and was that an Audrey too that they were fighting?
If it wasn't, it only wasn't because of copyright purposes.
Yeah, that thing that they brought back. Yeah, looked just like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think Ava Sharp is going to need to have a tighter leash on those guys. She's already got enough on her plate, but I don't know. I think she should be keeping a better watch over them. They shouldn't be left to their own devices right now.
Agreed. Clearly those two can't be trusted. And frankly, Gary's down to his last nipple. So, you know. Yeah.
Do you think does he get a girlfriend or a boyfriend by the end of this season?
Well, funny you mention that. The food delivery girl that we met we reported on her casting over the summer. That's Ramona Young, who is playing a character named Mona. And we didn't, I don't want to, I guess, like jump ahead 15 seconds, but we reported on this over the summer. But she is apparently a big enthusiast of YA fiction. And so she knows a lot about myths and legends that they're going to be fighting this season. So I think that's the character who's going to come on board, or maybe she's going to consult at the Time Bureau. That's not the last we're going to see of her. And I thought they were a little vibey. So I could see maybe Gary and Mona possibly. I mean, I wondered if that's what they were leading toward. That seems like the more obvious direction to take. And this show doesn't always do the obvious thing, but that could be one place they're headed. Anyway, I was pleased to see the introduction of Mona. She was fun.
Yeah. I thought that was cute little puppy love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and do you think is it a good thing that Nate's not coming back on the Wave Rider?
I kind of think so. I always felt like he was the least essential person on the Wave Rider, and to have him not there and having adventures elsewhere, I think balances the show a little bit better. So I like it. How about you?
Yeah, I think also the fact that someone who looks just like Amaya is going to be hanging around the Wave Rider, that can get really awkward really fast.
Oh, really awkward really fast. Imagine bumping into each other in the halls.
Yeah, I love that development. I thought that scene where Sarah realizes that he's not over her yet. I thought that was very well played, and I think it's giving him a lot of development that he hasn't had in the last season. 2 seasons. So
yeah, I'm giving him a dad, giving him that heartbreak, and then the doppelganger. And I thought sticking the shapeshifter in Amaya's form, that was an interesting way to do that. I wasn't sure how they were going to introduce her, but that was kind of interesting. I also deeply mourn for that shapeshifter. That would be a huge loss, if you're used to. Imagine being a shapeshifter and your power is gone and you didn't get to choose your last form. It's awful.
Oh man, it's like Odo on season 5 of Deep Space Nine. It was tragic.
So my husband and I were looking around our living room this morning, getting ready to record. And he said to me, I see 4 cats. And I was like, no, I only see 3 cats. And he turned and yelled, there are 4 cats. So
that's a Next Generation reference.
Next Generation. Picard in his shortest short robe.
Oh man. That is like that is an Emmy-worthy performance for Patrick Stewart.
Oh my God, yes.
4 lights. 4.
Do you want to move on to Titans now?
Yes. Is there news for
no
Legends?
News.
Okay.
No news.
All right. So next up, our final episode for the week, Titans, Season 1, Episode 5, Together. Dr. Adamson developed a new dad for the nuclear family and sent them off to capture Rachel. While hiding out in a motel, Dick made all of our heroes, except himself, share and show off their powers and abilities. Last minute reveal, while questioning Dr. Adamson, Dick was attacked by organization operatives and rescued by the new Robin.
Oh, this show has me. I'm all in. I love this episode.
Yeah.
I'm in, Titans. You got me.
I'm right there with you. Yeah. This was actually another tweet. This is from at Thomas Jackson Jr. Titans is a badass show, and you know what? I think we can all agree with that. Titans is a badass show.
It really is. Look, as soon as as soon as Dick declined to show off his skills to the rest of the team, no, I'm not going to show you that. And then they get attacked, and then we know what's going to happen. We know he's going to have to drop in his suit and just destroy everything, and it didn't make it any less amazing.
Yeah,
knowing that it was coming. It was so good.
Yeah. What do you think of the new dad?
That was fun. So my notes actually said, I think it would be cool if the nuclear family gets killed one by one and replaced over and over through attrition, and then they all died.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be kind of funny if, by the end of the season you had a whole new family that was kind of changed out week by week. But no, they're just all. Well, but yeah, I like the seamless introduction of the new dad. Well, here's your dad.
Yeah. I did like the joking. There was one joke in there. Can we just have 2 moms this time?
Yeah, I know. Jim has 2 moms.
I thought that was cute. Yeah, and but the nuclear family was fun, but there's a big DC universe out there, and there's a lot of other assassins that they can encounter.
Well, and I'm mostly sad because I need to know what Nuclear Mom had in that stain stick that got out that blood so perfectly. Market that. That's magic. What was in that stain stick?
Oh, you don't think that was just one of those Tide pens that...
I've never met a Tide pen that could do that so cleanly with anything. So, let's see. Gosh, what else? I liked everything else about this episode. What else do we want to talk about?
How about Beast Boy?
He is a precious snowflake angel, and he must be protected at all costs.
Yes, but I think he knew he was naked. I think he was.
Okay.
I think he was just showing off.
I'm not the only person who has either read the comics or watched that episode, turned to the person next to him and said, "Hey, he can control that too, right?" Right. And was he like? That's what I want to know. How aware was he? Was he like, "Oh yeah, ladies, what's up? What's up?" The big green tiger is never not going to amuse me. He did this thing where he ran to change, and his run was even funny. I don't know. I'm really digging what he's doing with that character.
Cool. Yeah. And it's gonna be interesting to see how he develops. I'm glad because I don't think I've ever, even in the comics, because I've never read like a Starfire centric book. All the stuff I've read with her are when she's in a team, either like a Titans or a Teen Titans book or Red Hood and the Outlaws or something like that. So to actually hear her break down exactly how her powers work was really important and informative. Like, I actually learned something there. And I thought that was really cool. I think Rachel, what she did, it looked dangerous, but we didn't really see, like, what actually does she do. I mean, we've seen her do that previously in the show, but just kind of like
are you saying like what's its utility?
Yes.
In a fight scenario?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Her eyes are scary. What else?
Yeah, and she vomits black clouds. So.
I mean, I'd steer clear of that girl on the bus, but
so yeah, very Titans goes with a very simple storyline here. Which is fine. I think that allows for maximum character development. What did you think of Dick and Corey's love scene?
Dick's classy towel drop. You know what? I'm glad the show didn't dance around the, oh, will they, won't they? Nah, they're two adults. They're in a high stress situation. They're both very easy on the eyes. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, this isn't a broadcast show. This is streaming. We can do whatever we want here.
Which they really didn't. I mean, like, that was actually quite restrained. I feel like I've seen more on network TV, which is fine. That's not a complaint.
Yeah.
You don't have to,
Yeah.
But no, I liked it, and I liked the matter of factness of it, and I just, to me, that was a refreshingly adult approach, as opposed to like, oh, we can't, we mustn't, we oughtn't, that you can kind of get sometimes. And I think we're getting cute puppy love with the younger two. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to look for relationships where there aren't going to be any, but it's a nice contrast between the, oh gosh, you're awfully keen with Rachel and Beast Boy, whose actual name I can't sum up right now, but that's
Yeah, no,
it's
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. It felt like Dick was going back and forth between like Corey trying to get him to show off what he does and their whole relationship, and then trying to calm down Raven and tell her she's going to be okay. And then they just shoot to Gar at one point, and he's just like in his room alone playing video games. I was like, oh,
I know. He's never bitten anyone. He's a vegan. He likes video games. He's great. I will say, Dick is kind of growing on me as a character. I think he's getting more interesting as things go on. Maybe they're giving him more to do or more to react to. I don't know. I'm enjoying the performance more and more. And it's not just because he was in a towel. The towel helped. Also, okay. Can we talk about the end now? Oh, wait, before we do that, the meta. Oh, are we going to see Batman? No. All right, we hear you, show.
No. No, fuck Batman.
We have covered this. Weren't you listening?
Yes. So yeah. And let's talk about that ending. We got to meet the new Robin, who we were going to find out is Jason Todd. I thought that costume was cool. I thought his entrance was cool. I want to know, how was he following Dick and saw that this situation was coming, or like, why is he showing up here now?
I like to think of a bitter Batman tracking Dick and being like, ugh, fine, go help him. So,
yeah,
because I am not a Batman comic reader, I hadn't given much, or any of the Titan stuff, I hadn't given much thought to this, but yeah, that's his replacement. Like that, I didn't ever think about the component of being saved by the younger model you. Yikes. So I'm curious if that's going to be juicy next week. It's going to be juicy, right? Right?
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
And that's pretty much why the fans in the 80s had a very adverse reaction to Jason Todd, because they didn't think that Robin should be replaced. And just kind of like the haphazard way that they went about it where it just seemed like, oh, this guy lifted the Batmobile's hubcaps and all of a sudden he's hanging around as Robin right now. Is that really fair? And that kind of, you know, the way that it played out in the comics and the story, I'm interested to see how if they take a similar bent to it in Titans in the show.
By that, do you mean letting us vote?
I don't know about that. I don't think we're going to get that far. And you know, although I wouldn't be surprised if he does not outlast the season. Because that really is the most important part of Jason Todd as a character, even now that he's come back as Red Hood, is that he was Robin and he was killed by the Joker.
And was that in the Killing Joke?
No, that was a story called A Death in the Family.
Okay.
The Killing Joke was when the Joker went crazy and paralyzed Barbara Gordon.
Well, yeah, I thought that was the case. I don't know. I got those two conflated in my head somehow. So
yeah,
like I said, I'm not well read in this area of comics. So
yeah, they both came out around the same time, so that, you know, they were like within a year of each other. So, but yeah, I can understand why people would conflate those two. But yeah, so yeah, that's what's going on there.
And I guess in conclusion, it's not Mr. Adamson, it's Dr. Adamson.
Yes.
He did not spend 6 years at Evil Medical School to be called Mr. So
yes.
Good for you. Protect your title. This was I super love this. A lot of fun. I surprised myself with how much I love this. So
yeah. Any news on Titans?
Not really. No, this is the halfway mark, right? So we are on the back half now.
All right. Yeah. Well, is it 11 or 13 or I don't know. But yeah, we're pretty much at the midway point. All right. Next. That's it. That's all the episodes.
That's it. Yeah, we have now we have just a bunch of really short news stories and then one show that has a couple updates. So, are you ready to do this fast?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, The Flash. In advance of his appearance, Ragdoll, in an interview, apparently is going to be a combination of Peter Merkel and Peter Merkel Jr. when he appears on The Flash. Ed, what does that mean to you? What is the significance?
I'm not as up on Ragdoll lore. I think when we were in show prep, you actually explained this better than I could.
Oh, so you cannot give me 3 double-spaced pages on the significance of Ragdoll?
No.
Okay.
No.
So apparently, per this article on Cinema Blend, Peter Merkel is the original Ragdoll, and those were genetic changes in him that allowed him to be the weird, bendy, twisty, contortion-y Ragdoll. His son, Peter Merkel Jr., had to get operational enhancements, like medical enhancements, to allow him to do that so he could be more like dear old dad. So I don't know, and that makes for kind of a horrific father-son, like, look what I did to my body for you. So Ragdoll apparently on The Flash is going to be a combination of those two. I don't know. I hope that he lives up to the hype, because there's been a lot of talk about how upsetting and odd and just visually uncomfortable the character is. So I'm looking forward to this episode a lot.
Yeah. All right. Next up,
Black Lightning. We have a first look at Looker, who is joining the show. She will make her debut on November 20th in the Book of Blood, Chapter 2, The Purdy.
Oh, okay.
How's the Looker look to you, Ed?
She's a looker. Which is, Looker is a character from The Outsiders, who has superpowers, and one of them is that she looks very pretty.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So, let's see. Next, we have Gotham. So, on Twitter, somebody asked out in the ether, hey, are we going to see Batman in the final season? And Cameron Monaghan, who plays all the various incarnations of not Joker, quote tweeted simply, yes. So, are we going to see Batman? Yes, apparently so. That is exciting.
Yeah. I mean, we say it like he's going to be on that journey, or like we're going to see, I don't know. I wonder if this is going to be like Smallville, where just like the last 10 minutes, we're finally going to see him put on the cape and cowl. And I wonder if it'll be David Mazouz in the suit, or if they'll age him up a little bit, or what's going on. But it's exciting.
If they'll get those people doing the Arrow old makeup to, yeah.
As long as they don't do what they did at the end of the last Harry Potter movie, I think we'll be fine.
Oh, good times. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for Gotham, and then I think we end the week. Ooh. Oh no, we don't end the week. I'm sorry. Swamp Thing has a bunch of big casting news. Music. So, are you ready for this?
Lay it on me.
All right, we have our Alec Holland. Our Alec Holland. He is going to be played by Andy Bean, who I know nothing about Alec Holland. Andy Bean did not match whatever image I had in my head of Alec Holland. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Ed, what do you think about Andy Bean casting?
I don't really know much about him. He's in Power, and yeah, I think this is the kind of thing where they went with an unknown, and I'm sure he probably just did something in the audition that wowed people. We're just gonna have to keep an open mind. I mean, the fact that this series is happening, I mean, he's gonna be voicing him. I mean, Derek Mears is going to be the Swamp Thing in the suit, and I think that's what really matters here. But yeah, okay. So, it's something we don't know. It remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think I was picturing more of a strapping leading man quality, like, that you usually get attractive CW style strong jaw. Mm-hmm. And Andy Bean looks like a little bit thinner, a little bit readier. I don't know. It wasn't what I was expecting as leading man potential. And that maybe I should stop and examine my preconceptions there. But like you, Ed, I felt this way about the casting of Yorick and Y, The Last Man for FX. I was kind of underwhelmed by their announcement there, but there has to have been something that happened in the audition in both of those scenarios where the acting, the chemistry, whatever they're looking for worked. So in some ways, I'm excited by that, because if it's not, oh yeah, I look at you and I get that immediately, then something else is going on. And that's really cool, because that could mean that there's going to be just fantastic work on screen, and that's what we want. So yay. Anyway, other casting news. Will Patton has been cast as Avery Sunderland. There were some rumors swirling that Kurt Russell and Greg Kinnear had been approached about the role, and that it did go to Will Patton. Ed, your thoughts on Will Patton?
He's a fine actor. You can see him in theaters now in Halloween. He plays, and he's one of those strong character actors. He's been in everything twice. Probably most memorable as Caesar in Armageddon.
Okay. That man's not a salesman. That man's your daddy. Yes. Listen, that's one of the best parts of a movie that is literally nothing but best parts. I will physically fight anybody who tries to tell me that Armageddon isn't the perfect, terrible, wonderful movie. Physically fight you.
Yeah. And he likes to spend his vacation time at Caesar's Palace, at the craps tables in Caesar's Palace.
No shame. No shame.
No.
And then he lands and he gets off the plane and his child is there with the little space shuttle.
By the way, there's no way they're letting him on that tarmac. That kid on that tarmac. I don't care.
I don't know. I feel like at that point, those people get to do whatever they want. Those astronauts come back and they're just like, yeah, no, I saved literally the world. Mm-hmm. So if my kid wants to be if my kid wants to fly a plane, my kid gets to fly a plane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they can let the hooker who wants to make out with Steve Buscemi on. They could let the kid in too.
Oh, she doesn't want to just make out with him. She wants to have his babies. Can we do an episode on Armageddon? Can we make that happen?
All right.
That's Ed's no voice. Were Ed a father, that would be the ask your mother, but it's not going to happen.
Just spent a whole time on Ben Affleck's teeth in that movie.
They were huge teeth. All right. More casting news. Henderson Wade has been cast as Matt Cable. You may know Henderson Wade from Riverdale if you are a Riverdale watcher. My household is not, because we respect the source material. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. All right.
Who is Matt Cable in the universe?
I don't know. I need to read more Swamp Thing.
Well, I kind of feel that this is the one thing I'm actually really interested in reading is Swamp Thing. The whole premise sounds kind of interesting to me. So anyway, last thing, this is a rumor. This is not confirmed from any of the sources that I saw, but apparently several outlets are reporting that Kevin Durand is in talks to play Jason Woodrue, who is Floronic Man. I assume Floronic Man fluoridates your water.
Yes. Yeah. No,
I am Floronic Man. I am here to strengthen your teeth.
Yes. Yeah. And he's a major villain in Swamp Thing.
And if so Kevin Durand, I know him as Vasily
I'm sorry.
From
it's Flora. As in flowers. The flora.
Well, that actually makes sense. That makes sense.
That's
actually. In a weird kind of way. Kevin Durand, I know as Vasily from The Strain. He has been in a number of things. He was in that terrible Deadpool movie, wasn't? Or not Deadpool. Oh my god, the movie where Ryan Reynolds was Deadpool when it was bad.
Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yes, wasn't he in that? Wasn't he the blob type character? Ugh, whatever. I don't know. If this actually happens, he's a big guy. He's got menace. He's a good actor. He'd be a fun, menacing character. So I hope this is true. Do you have positive Kevin Durand associations?
I can't think of anything specific, but the fact that we're getting Floronic Man, I think that's really cool. Yeah, he's also going by the names Plantmaster, Floro, and the Cedar in the comics. I remember
the Cedar is way less cool than Floronic Man.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a really good villain. And I can't wait to see what they're doing with him. Cool. Yeah. All right.
So we'll let you know if that casting news actually comes true. In the past, things that have been reported like this have, and then they haven't. So we will see. All right. Last show of the week is Watchmen.
Watchmen.
And first, we start with a confirmation of something everybody already knew, which is apparently Jeremy Irons is in fact playing Ozymandias, which yada. So okay.
Yeah.
Other casting news, we have James Wolk has been cast in the show. The speculation is maybe playing a junior senator from Oregon. James Wolk feels like a senator. That makes sense. He's a good-looking white guy with thick dark hair. That's senator material right there. I feel very positive about James Wolk, although I can't pinpoint exactly why. Maybe Mad Men? Not great, Bob. I don't know. But James Wolk, pro.
Okay.
Ed, James Wolk, yes, no?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm not placing the actor right now, but yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here's an actor who you probably can place, but Jean Smart also is joining the show as an FBI agent.
And I hear there's some question about her lineage.
Okay, so there is some question online, some speculation that she might be playing an FBI agent Black, which is, yes, the last name of the comedian, and yes, the comedian did rape her mother, and that is how Laurie came to be. Laurie, of course, was the second Silk Spectre. So could Jean Black be playing an FBI agent who is Laurie, the daughter of Sally Jupiter, and the comedian grown up as an FBI agent who has somehow taken her rapist father's last name? Oh my God, that better be the case. Yes.
I don't know. I doubt that. I think she could be comedian's daughter, but she doesn't have to be Silk Spectre. She could be a different daughter.
Oh no, that's interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'd allow that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think then she'd be a little bit more. She wouldn't have as many qualms about having the same last name.
Yeah, that's what doesn't ring true to me. That it was not a very good relationship, and that frankly that was handled pretty grossly in the comic. I think the show is going to some of those assault women depiction issues were not great in the comic originally, so I'm hoping the show will do better, and I think it probably will. I trust Damon Lindelof to clean that up a little bit. Anyway, finally, we have some more set photos, and we get a better look at the American Hero Story show within a show that obviously is based on American Horror Story. And we see a lot more of Hooded Justice, who seems to be the focus of American Hero Story. We see the character on the side of a bus. We see some more advertising. It looked really cool. What did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought it was comics accurate, which is fun. Yeah. I'm like all these tidbits. Like, let's see the show. I want to know when the show's coming out.
Yeah, the more casting they announce, I feel like the more work they're doing on it. So I wonder if it'll be. Is this the show they premiere like after Game of Thrones ends next year?
Probably.
Do they then? I mean, doesn't that kind of make sense that like, okay, we've just finished our magnum opus. Now here's our next magnum opus.
Yeah. I mean, do you pair it with Westworld, or do you give it its own space? I don't know.
HBO does tend to run new shows at the same time. I've noticed that you'll have a couple new episodes. You'll have a couple new shows running together, as opposed to DC Universe, where you've got the one and then the next one starts when the next one is done. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. That's it for the news, right?
That is it for the news.
All right. On to our winners for the week. Sarah, do you have yours yet, or do you want me to go first?
Please go first. I'm still up in the air.
Okay. So my winner for this week is going to be Alex Danvers, because I think the fact that she was able to juggle tracking all of these fugitives from that desert facility, and try to, and haggle with Kara over whether or not she should be out in the open, and all of the heat that she came under with the president. I thought she handled it as best she could, and she had a rough time, and she, really deserved that pie on the couch at the end of the episode.
We should all be so deserving of pie. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a great choice. And Alex, hats off. I'm going to go with my original note under winner of the week, which is Ray Palmer's messy hair. But I can expand that. Ray Palmer going to be my winner of the week because Legends this week was an exceptionally great episode for that character. We got to see, I feel like, every beat that character has. We got to see kind of stodgy rule follower, but also like risk taker, undercover, broke Nora out. We got to see him suit up and fight. We got to see him be goofy. And then, like I said, the hair acting. He got to spike the punk hair and step out a little bit, and I just love Brandon Routh. Ray Palmer.
Kidnap a corgi.
Yeah. He kidnapped a corgi. That makes him a winner. And he did it without hurting anybody, least of all the corgi. So.
Yes. All right. And so, yeah, that's our winners for the week. And that's going to be the DCTV report for this week. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Edward O'Hare, TBD.
I'm at Sarah Netzley, SaraNetzley.
And follow the show on Twitter at DCTV Reports. Send along your emails to dctv@wickedtheory.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our show on your podcast app of choice and rate and review us. That helps more people find us. Check out our sister shows, the Wicked Theory Podcast and Preacher vs. Preacher. This has been a Wicked Theory Studios production. Executive producer Bill Sweeney. Visit us at wickedtheory.com. Shazam, everybody.
Shazam!
Shazam!